Hi, this is Phil Hall, Mortgage News Network here at the MBA Annual Convention. And to my left, I have Liz Green of the company Rel-e-vant. Liz, for the benefit of our viewers who may not be familiar with your work, what is Rel-e-vant?
Well, thank you so much for having me here today. Rel-e-vant is a consulting service, and we specialize in data strategy, analytics, and compliance services. And that really stems from an interest and an involvement in standards. So I spend a lot of my time working with both clients and industry participants on trying to further the cause of standardization, both in terms of data as well as in practices.
One aspect of standards you're particularly passionate about is digitized signatures. Can you tell us a bit about the work you're doing in that area?
Absolutely. That's actually an up-and-coming topic, and it's gaining a lot of ground. This is really stemming from an archaic system that exists within the appraisal licensing system for the actual real estate appraiser. So each state has their own licensing requirements, which is all well and good, but all those states also report up to a central repository at the national level to the appraisal subcommittee. And so in cases where an appraiser has multiple licenses, tracking of those multiple licenses to a single individual is somewhat challenging. And to add to that, the appraisers have, through the last 15, 20 years in the use of their software providers, have been afforded a picture of their signature that is held on file in their software and placed in the report. It's not very secure. And so when we think about the license and the signature, that really is the calling card for the appraiser. That's his credential. And so we would like to see standards that tie those two things together, and that would necessarily involve a background check. And the AQB, the Appraisal Qualifications Board, is also adding background checks as a requirement for licensure in 2017. So the timing is perfect to bring these three items together as a three-legged stool solution to be able to solve a very important problem.
Well, there seems to be a problem that's been going on for quite some time. Why is it taking so long for a solution to come about?
That's a good question. We have recently in the news several different incidences of appraiser fraud where credentials have been stolen, and the perpetrators have used that appraiser's credentials without his knowledge to actually submit reports and be paid for them. One case in particular was a mother-daughter duo where the daughter was actually a trainee appraiser, and they were falsifying their logs for apprenticeship and getting paid for that, and using license numbers from unwitting appraisers. So this is a problem that has kind of been under the surface. Appraisers that have been victimized have to deal with it on their own. There's not a lot of support for them. And as we've become more digital in the use of appraisals for mortgage lending, that information is now showing up in databases, whether at Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac through the UCDP or with other data sources. So the time is now to really be able to get a handle on that.
I would also think once this problem has been solved, a lot of the negative reputation that many appraisers have will evaporate, and there'll be a much more positive image of the appraisers across the industry.
I think it does help to raise the bar from a professionalism standpoint. Appraisers oftentimes feel like they've been left back in the 1980s with the HP calculator and the clipboard. And you know, the time of bringing forward technology for both accessing data, doing a better job with analytics and regression, having better outputs versus just the Uniform Residential Appraisal Report form. All of those things are well within our reach, and to be able to bring the digital aspect of the appraiser's profile into that mix is so timely and really needed.
If our viewers wanted to keep up to date with the work you're doing, how can they find you online?
Oh, that's great. So my website is also a great place, www.relevant.com, and there's dashes, REL-E-VANT. That's where you'll find my blog. I'm also on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @FreshRelevance, and so I do a lot of promoting of these topics through the blog so that I can write and give context to it. I also have a couple of articles coming up, and of course I'm on LinkedIn, so you can see a lot of my publications there as well.
Well, you know where to find Liz. Thanks for watching us here on the Mortgage News Network. This is Phil Hall.
This is Mortgage News Network.